So, without further ado, our main topic. There's been some interesting rumors going on.
There have been some very interesting rumors going on. So to set this up, Nintendo has a history of using code names for games and consoles.
Nintendo certainly has a
You
history.
may recall that the GameCube was called Project Dolphin. The Nintendo Wii was called Codename Revolution. The Nintendo Wii U, I don't even remember. And the Nintendo Switch was called Codename NX. So Nintendo likes to use code names.
The funny thing is, Chris, during production of almost any media, code names are not uncommon. For example, Return of the Jedi was codenamed Blue Harvest, famously. But that's because they were trying to get out of paying the money over in England or wherever they were at.
Well, it makes sense because if there's just random indie film called Blue Harvest, you're not going to charge them that much. But if it's George Lucas making Star Wars,
they're like,
we're going to charge you the max
amount.
rate.
Yeah, and then as soon as they saw Luke and Darth Vader, they're like,
but it's too late because
nice
they already agreed on it. So there's various reasons. I mean, companies might do it legally to keep stuff secretive. They might do it to save money. They might do it because they don't want to commit to something, and then if they change their mind, they don't want to disappoint fans.
Right, and that's the smart thing to do, because by announcing, or not announcing, they know that these things get leaked, of course. So, instead of like, oh, we just leaked Mario Galaxy 3, it's, what is it, SP Red, But we don't know if it's Galaxy 3, and that's what we're getting at.
You're jumping right into it.
I was just jumping right into it. So, and code names are a big help, because only the team members of the project would actually know what it is, and in some cases, not all of them even know what they're working on. They're just working on assets.
So here's what we've heard so far, and and I did want to mention, Son of a Sith correctly pointed out that Family Guy used Blue Harvest as the name of their Star Wars thing as a nod to...
It's a tie-back joke.
Good call. But anyway, so there are a couple leaks or rumors coming out. One is Zelda-related, one is Mario-related. Now, the Zelda one, they have officially confirmed it is a Zelda spin-off. Now, what's interesting...
Well, no, that's not officially confirmed, Chris. That's just the loop that you go through. Remember?
Wait. So they haven't even named that it's Zelda? The Zelda the speculation?
No.
Okay, so maybe Rich read this article a little more than I did.
So here's the two things that have been leaked. Okay, let me just back this all
All right.
What has been leaked from Nintendo is a game called Edward and a game called SP Red.
Okay.
When they were working on the Link's Awakening spin-off, or the remake on the Switch, the remake of Zelda Link's Awakening, the code name was Richard. Hey. And so when the code name for a game comes out and it's Edward, the person or the woman that was writing the article that we got this from was speculating that Nintendo may like to use the names of English kings
for Zelda. I see what you're saying.
Their Zelda spin-off / remake.
I see. So based on purely the name itself, they're speculating a Zelda spin-off is in the works, but that's purely because the name got leaked. So we know that Codename Edward is coming out. Codename Richard was the Link's Awakening remake.
Right.
So
let's think here. I know that a bunch of you are going to be like, okay, so was King Richard before King Edward? Like trying to figure out
how detailed.
Which Zelda remake
is this? It's just a nickname, dude. It doesn't have a perfect one. Miyamoto's like, we must make sure that the difference between Edward and Richard is chronologically going to line up with the Zelda in universe.
I think you had a good theory, Chris. What was the Game Boy games, right?
Oh, yes. So I was on Reddit, and they were speculating that Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons could feasibly be getting a remake. Those were released on the Game Boy Color years ago.
I was going to say, so those were the Game Boy Color games that kind of immediately followed like Ocarina of Time when it came out.
Yeah, this is like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. But nobody really talks about them anymore, so that's one theory. They could do like a full-fledged, really high-end remake, but that's just speculation.
I mean, why don't they just remake? I know they already remade Ocarina of Time, but for the 3DS.
But they didn't do. They just did a port. It wasn't a true. It wasn't like Final Fantasy VII.
It wasn't. So. Well, yeah, definitely wasn't the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah. Now
that would require a lot. I mean, think about it this: if they'd pulled the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment with Ocarina of Time, you'd be getting it in like 2 or 3 games. And it would be like, Link would still be a kid by the end of the first game. You know what I mean? It'd be stretched out, which I love in Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I don't necessarily want that for Ocarina of Time. I do think that you could add, because I know that there was a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor. The whole dungeons, remember, were
That's true.
cut out of the game. Like, you could make an amazing Ocarina of Time remake. And whereas like the 3DS remake was more of like an up-res, and I know it added a few little things, but we're talking about a real new fleshed out remake of Ocarina of Time. Give it to us, Nintendo. You can literally take all of my money, which right now is nothing. So
Now, this is quite the pipe dream, but when Rich and I were talking about this, I said, what if it's not a remake? What if it's just not a spin-off? What if it's a brand new concept? And what I said was Mario RPG was unlike anything we had ever seen. I'm talking about the one on the Super Nintendo made by Square Enix. What if they made a Zelda RPG in the same style as Mario RPG, maybe a bit more serious to match the tone of Zelda, but imagine a Zelda RPG with the quality of the Mario RPG games. Wouldn't that be freaking cool?
I mean, I love anything RPG. I think that a lot of people kind of confuse, especially when there was like the whole like 90s battle. Some of you may have been around for that, where it's like Final Fantasy VII versus Ocarina of Time. And it's really, they're very completely different games. The only reason that it was ever a competition is because they kind of came out around the same time, and it was like one was like the best game on PlayStation, one was the best game on Nintendo 64, and so there was kind of like this butting of heads, which is why Tetsuya made that amazing artwork of Cloud fighting Link when Cloud finally came to Smash. Remember that?
That's
it was, like,
right. Yeah,
very
that was
cool.
really cool.
But yeah, I was going to say a lot of people kind of mistook Ocarina of Time, especially Ocarina of Time at the time, for an RPG, even though it really is not an RPG at all. It's an adventure game. Ooh,
LL457 super chatted $4.99. I enjoyed Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but I've never been a huge Zelda fan. I've always preferred Mario.
Thank you so much, LL457, for your generous super chat. We're going to get to Mario real quick here in just a second. And, it's hard to say. I think that if I'm being honest with myself, I've probably always preferred Mario too, but that's just because I love Mario games. Not to say I don't love Zelda. I love Zelda games as well, but I've probably played more Mario games because, hey, I think there's more Mario games than Zelda games. So, anyways, but I was gonna say, a lot of people kind of mistook it at the time. It does. I would say that it has light RPG elements. Definitely, Breath of the Wild has even more RPG elements in it. But what I would love to see in Zelda is like a proper, like, engaging leveling system, a skill tree that you have to build up. Your swings get stronger, your jumps get higher, your everything gets better. Everything, and they kind of tiptoed a little bit of that sort of Breath of Wild. I used to, joke when Breath of the Wild came out that it was Skyrim light, and Skyrim is actually very much an RPG as well as an action adventure game. But Skyrim also has like skill trees, building, a bunch of other stuff, and again, tiptoeing into that in Breath of the Wild without fully committing to the RPG sense. But yeah, I think, Chris, you were probably more talking about a traditional, like, more turn-based RPG.
Yeah,
kind of
well, I was
experience.
thinking literally like Mario RPG, except maybe a little bit more serious, a little less jokes. So, that was my my vision. Going back to LL457's super chat, and thank you again. That was very generous of you. I actually do agree with you, even though one could argue that the Zelda games are the quote-unquote better games. I've spent more time playing Mario games over the years, and I think the reason why is when you play a Zelda game, it's kind of a big commitment. You're signing up for kind of an intense, epic story, whereas Mario has a little bit more of a casual pick up and play.
Yeah.
You can play it here, you can play it there.
Like,
if you don't play it for a while, you could just pick up, like, you know what I mean? Like Mario 64. It's like, oh, I haven't played in several years. Oh, well, I just want to run around, on my favorite level. Whereas Zelda, it's like, oh, I haven't played for a couple years. I better start at the beginning so I can get back in the mood of the plot. Obviously, they're both amazing franchises, but at the end of the day, I think I do prefer Mario. That's why we made Stupid Mario Bros, not Stupid Zelda Bros.
not that there's bros in Zelda.
Have you played Four Swords Hero or what is it?
yeah.
Four Swords Heroes, where they have
Four
the
Swords.
Yeah. Anyway, I get your point. Four Swords Adventures. Hey, you guys know
That would have lasted no episodes.
Anyway, did you want to any other thoughts on Zelda before we kind of go back to the Mario?
So the second code name is SP Red. So we're assuming it's Mario. The funny thing is when you think of a code name like SP Red, you're thinking like, oh, Super Mario Party or something.
Special Mario.
But often with those codes, those letters and numbers don't actually mean anything.
Yeah, it could be misdirection.
We're thinking it's Mario because red is part of the code, but it could be like a remake of Pokemon Red. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
It could be anything. Well, what was funny is when I was talking with Rich about this, I was like, hey, Nintendo's working on a new Mario game. And you said, aren't they always working on a new Mario game?
No.
That's what I was. I looked confused.
You're right. No, sorry, I forgot what okay, so no. Hold on.
Your super chatted $2. Mario.
It didn't finish
Link.
it? Mario
And Link, an unexpected crossover RPG.
Sorry, Dewey. I don't know why it just stopped halfway through.
It says let's celebrate their 5th super on a live stream.
Thank you, Dewey, for your 5 super chats over the years. And sorry that the speaker got a little finicky. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it just kind of.
But don't worry, we are here to read your super chat anyway. This is just a fun gimmick we have.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Dewey is here, and clearly you are here.
Keep chatting, Rich. I need to move this.
Yeah, I would love a Mario and Link crossover. I mean, I know it was Smash Bros, but like Smash Bros isn't really. I have this love-hate thing with Smash Bros. We're not going to get into it now. But yeah, an actual story of Mario and Link coming together, like, that would be awesome. Gee, wasn't there one time where there was this cool YouTube channel that had Link come in and interact with the Mario Brothers, Chris? And, like, they went on adventures together? What was that?
Smosh. Pokemon in real life. And the Zelda rap battle. I'm just joking.
I was saying us. We did it.
It was us. Anyway, sorry about that. I had to get up and move the blinds. That was starting to drive me crazy with the glare. So.
Anyways, okay. So the joke earlier was like when Chris was like, "Oh, Nintendo, there's leaks. They're leaking." It was.
I was like all excited about it,
as if speaking about like it's been leaked. Like Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out in 6 months. Like, but he's like, it's been leaked. There's Codenames. A new Mario and Zelda game is coming out from Nintendo. I'm like, Chris, I would be more shocked if Nintendo wasn't working on a Zelda and Mario game. Like, I assume they're always working on Mario.
It's not like it's
and
Grand Theft
Zelda.
Auto or Red Dead Redemption. We get like one a decade. Like, it's,
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I was like, why are we focusing on this when this is inevitable? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, news would be like, Nintendo is not going to make any more consoles. That would be news.
Or they finally announce the name of the next console and it's got some crazy cool feature that nobody expected.
Right.
But
I'm also joking because I know we do this show weekly, and so we have to come up with content.
But the thing is, obviously, because the word red is in the title, it would seem it's a wink and a nod at a new Mario title. So next up,
so now we
what,
talk about
now we,
what
what
Mario
is
game
it? Yeah,
we
we
want,
get to
right?
speculate.
Yeah.
So what do we think it is, and then what do we hope it is? So
here's
go
the
ahead.
thing. Like I said, I think it's probably not even a Mario game. But if it is a Mario game, I would assume this to be some remake or remaster, just like most of the games on Switch have been. Like you saw our top 10 Switch games a couple weeks ago.
Most of them were Wii U remakes.
Were Wii U games that came to the Switch.
Which was good because it gave people who didn't have a Wii U a chance to play them, and those of us that did play them a chance to play them again.
So this could be Mario is missing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. But what I would love it to be is like a Galaxy 3 or an Odyssey 2.
Yeah.
Another giant Mario platformer, because God, Mario Odyssey came out in what, 2017?
17, yeah.
You know,
it was
it's
a while
like,
ago.
and they just came out with a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Where's the love for?
Oh, that's a good point.
For Mario
Wait
Odyssey.
a minute, we could crank out Breath of the Wild and then Tears of the Kingdom, but there's no Odyssey 2. So here's my theory. As you guys know from one of our previous streams, the Switch 2, or whatever the new console is going to be, it's supposed to come out next year. Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, EDMG7 says, we're focusing on it because the PlayStation State of Play gave us next to nothing to look forward to. Nintendo, I was literally
Nintendo and indies are carrying games.
I
You
was literally
just
talking
said that.
to Chris. I was like, Chris, it's amazing that we're talking today, and the PlayStation State of Play happened yesterday. And I have nothing to say about it. Literally nothing to say about it.
So didn't you say they announced like 20 or 30 games and you're not excited about any of them?
I think they announced about 15 games.
Yeah.
I will say this. I will shout out the one game that I'll probably play.
And that is?
And that is Astrobot. Now, Astro was the free game that came with the PlayStation 5. It's the little robot. I don't know if you ever saw me play It's like a really cool little platformer, but you can get through the whole game in like 2 hours. And I was like, man, they should have made a whole game. Now they're making a whole game finally. Cool.
Well,
Is it
there you go.
news? No. But yeah, that was the joke. It's like, oh, it was like there was it's like, oh, God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC. Woo, like it's just a bunch of nothing announcements,
Yeah.
man. It was like, anyways. So I completely. It's just so funny that you bring that to DMGs because like I was literally saying that's like there should have been like we should have been talking about like Final Fantasy 17 over here or something.
Oh, yeah,
should
that's a
have been
good
like
point.
we should have been talking about like the actual next God of War game or like anything. But like again, PlayStation gave us nothing, man. Well, I maybe don't have a state of play if you got nothing to talk about.
By the way, I see some chatter in the chat. Duke the Legend, yes, we can see the chat. We're mostly focusing on our conversation topic, but we are keeping an eye out on the chat. If you want to guarantee that we hear you, you can send in a super chat like you have before. But yes, we do keep an eye out on the live chat.
Anyways, so Chris, I didn't ask you what you wanted from Mario game.
I'll be honest. What I would like is a Mario 64 number 2 or a Mario Sunshine number 2, which I know will unfortunately never happen because Nintendo has decided that that's too far in the past. If I had to guess, I would say that because the next Switch console is about to come out, so the Switch 2, this is probably going to be either a launch title or a holiday title. Because remember, when the Switch came out, I think Breath of the Wild was a launch title, but they kind of waited a little bit later in the year to bring out Odyssey, and it was like the holiday Christmas special, since a lot of people get their games around the holidays. So if I had to guess, I would say it's a new Mario title, similar to how we went from Galaxy to Odyssey. I think they're gonna, if they don't do Odyssey 2, it'll just be the next 3D Mario game that has a new title franchise. But
sure. Oh, yeah, but that's kind of what I meant by a Galaxy 3 or an Odyssey 2. It's just like whatever the next big Mario game is, because they've kind of done this pattern where it's like, except for Galaxy 2, like they usually only have one big like Mario platformer on each console.
Yeah,
which
that
is
was
crap.
interesting.
When we got Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Bros. 2, and Super Mario Brothers 3 all on the NES.
Oh, that's a good point. What the heck?
So,
Uh,
well, making games today is so hard. Sam says, you've seen Mario as an elephant, even a house cat. Now hold on to your shorts for Mario contracts rabies.
they already did that. It's called Mario vs. Rabbids.
Alternatively, Mario gets hunted for big game shotguns. Yeah.
A switch on Duck Hunt, I see.
There was the Mario Rabbids game.
Yeah, that's what I the rabbits with
Super Sunshine Galaxy.
So, but us, we're Nintendo fans. We're gonna be Nintendo fanboys for life. So whatever comes out, as we get more news, we'll be talking about it, and we'll probably be excited.
Well,
about
I mean, the Mario RPG remake, amazing. Really, really good.
And the newest one that just came out was Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Right.
I have not played the remake yet, but man, oh man, like I played that a lot on the GameCube, and that was a fun
So, like, Nintendo
game.
is a company that really is thriving in this market of remakes.
I mean, I can't blame them. Like, they got great IP. Like, why not, double dip and bring those games back?